Hey everyone, welcome to my new tutorial. Today we are going to create this nice steaming hot cup of coffee, and I really hope you will enjoy this one. And if you do, please don't forget to leave that like, and if you're new around here, hit that subscribe. And if you just started Blender and you want to understand all the basics, check out my free starter course. You just go to my website, the link is in the description. It's 100% free, takes 1 to 2 hours to complete, and you will have so much easier time going through some of my other tutorials when you go through that. So if you're interested, please check out the link in the description. Now let's jump into Blender, and first of all we'll need to create our cup of coffee. So let's select the cube, press X and delete, sorry default cube, and let's press Shift A and we'll add a circle. Now let's tab into the edit mode, and basically we can just press F to fill and E to extrude our cylinder, and now press S to scale this up, and press X and delete the faces, so we're left with this shape right here. And now press Ctrl R and create a loop cut right here in the middle. Now if there are more cuts, just reduce the number of cuts with the mouse wheel and confirm. Right click to release in place, and we can press S to scale this up. And now we'll use bevel tool to smooth this out, so press Ctrl B and just bevel it like this and increase number of cuts with the mouse wheel, and this should be enough. Now we'll create the handle, so press 2 for edge select and select these two edges right here, and press Shift D to duplicate these and right click to release them in place. But now we'll press P and separate the selection, and they will separate it into a new object right here. So we can tab out and select the new object, tab back in, and let's go to the vertex select by pressing 1. And let's select this vertex right here and press Ctrl X to dissolve it. We don't need that one. And just select these two and press S to scale them inside a little bit. And now if you press 1 for a front view on a numpad, now you can press E and extrude your handle just like this, just by repeatedly pressing E. And now let's enable X-ray view here, select these two, and let's do one extrusion like this. Now we can always adjust this later, so let's turn off the X-ray view, tab out, and I want to merge this back into this object because I don't want to have these separate, so hold Shift, select the cup and press Ctrl J to join. And now we can go to the modifiers and let's add solidify modifier. And now just increase the thickness to whatever you like here, and we'll add subdivision surface modifier, and you will have your cup of coffee. Let's increase the levels in the viewport to 2, right click and shade smooth. I think this is nice. And now you can see the real shape after applying the subdivision, so you can go back and adjust. So I'll press 1 on numpad for a front view, tab into the edit mode, and we can just, with the X-ray view active, we can just select these pairs of vertices and, you know, work with this a little bit. Let's select these two. Let's make it more rounded and smooth, just like this. Now let's disable the X-ray view and let's press Shift A. Let's add another circle. Press G then Z and move this up here, and press S to scale it up until it starts touching the surface, just like this. And now we can tab into the edit mode and press Ctrl F and use grid fill, and you will see why this is important later. So we have a mesh here, not only an end gone. So now let's tab out. If you want to accelerate your Blender journey, also check out my other courses where you will learn everything from simple low poly design all the way to full character illustration, textured environments, even a little bit of sculpting, hard surface modeling, and with the latest one, full car modeling and animation. So if you're interested, please check out the link in the description. Now that's basically everything in terms of modeling, so let's create our smoke simulation there. So let's hold Shift S, snap cursor to select it, and let's press Shift A and create a circle again. And we can press S to scale this down, make it really small like this. Now tab in and press F to fill, so we have some faces there. And now we can tab out and let's go Object, Quick Effects and Quick Smoke. And what they'll do is basically create our simulation for us. This object that we created will serve, you can see it already has its fluid simulation active, and if you go to the physics you will see the setup right here, and it's set as smoke to inflow. And make sure in the flow source, let's check that it's planar, but other than that this is okay. And then it created this domain object for us. That's basically the part that will render our voxels, our smoke voxels, and you can see the size of the voxel right here. This is simulating the size of the voxel, so now the resolution is quite low. And if you just play back the animation, this is what you'll have. So this is more like a mushroom cloud here. This doesn't look quite like what I want to have here, but we can easily deal with that. First of all, let's make sure this actually dissolves and it's not collecting up here. So in the fluid settings for our domain object, let's make sure we have some dissolve active here, and let's set this to something like 10 frames. So now if you play back the animation, you will see something like this, and you will see the smoke will disappear up here. This is exactly what I want here, but I don't want this, you know, spool up time. I want the animation to start right away. So we can go here and change the frame start to something like -100. By the way, the cache is now set to replay, so it should update in real time. But if you have a slower PC, it might be beneficial for you to use baking, and I like to do that often. So let's just switch this to all, and now you have the ability to bake the animation. So let's set this to something like 120, so we don't use too much of our animation yet. And let's just click bake, and you will see the animation will bake, and now you can just easily scrub through the animation really quickly because it's baked in. So now I really like this kind of steaming smoke right here, but what I want to do is to add a little bit of turbulence. So let's press Shift A and let's go force field and turbulence. Right there, it will just add an empty with the turbulence force field, and right now if you play back, it will do nothing because you need to go back to your domain object and click free and bake it all again. And now you will see the effect of the turbulence. You'll see now this is the swirling that we want to see in our animation. Now maybe this is too strong, so if you want this to be a little bit softer, you can always reduce the strength to something like 0.5 and then go back to your domain object and free and rebake it. Okay, I basically really like this, so let's just set this to 240 and 240 for the end frame of the animation. Let's free it and bake it all again. And I think the resolution will be fine for this type of animation. Of course, you can always go in and, for example, raise your resolution divisions to 64 or something like that, or you can add some noise. But I really like the subtle nature of the smoke, so I will leave it like this for now. And let's hold Shift S, reset cursor to world origin. Now let's press Shift A and we'll add a plane. Now let's press S to make this larger, and let's look from the camera by pressing 0 on a numpad. And now you can press N to expand the side panel, and in the view settings you have camera to view, so now you can use your viewport controls to position your camera, which is exactly what I want to do here. So let's do something like this here, and now don't forget to disable that so you can freely rotate around your object. So with the camera ready, let's go to render settings, enable cycles, GPU compute and some denoising, and I will use GPU denoising for the final render as well. And since this will be an animation, I think something like 256 samples will be just fine. And let's press Ctrl B to limit the preview only to camera bounds. So now if we do the render preview, only this part gets rendered. So now if we play back this, you can see the smoke is kind of dark and hardly visible. So in the material, this is already applied to your domain object. You can see the smoke domain material, and the main difference is it's not on the surface, it's plugged into the volume here. And we can raise the brightness of this and also density. So let's try something like 15, and now this will be much more visible here. And what we can do is select our inflow object and move it back here so it doesn't produce any rendering artifacts colliding with this surface right here. And speaking of this surface, it would be nice to have like a coffee texture there. So I basically went out and downloaded some coffee image. You can just go to, you know, Google Images or whatever, I don't know, Pexels or something like that, and search for coffee texture, you know, the photo with the coffee from the top. And then we'll switch to shader editor, create the new material for this, and here we'll just drag the base color and search for texture and use image texture here and open. So now that we have our texture here, you will see it in the second. Let's just expand the new window here and switch to UV editor because we need to unwrap this. So tap into the edit mode and you can see this is the image I downloaded. So search for something similar and just save it next to your project and load it up here in your texture. And now we'll need to press U here in the viewport and unwrap angle based, and this is what we'll get, and we need to match it with our object. So do something like this, and now you will have this nice image working for you. But this is not everything I want to do here, because since this is animation, I want a little bit of a wobble there, and also we can work with the roughness here. So let's press Shift A and let's search for hue and saturation and drop it right here. Drive this to your color output and now this into the roughness, and we can reduce the saturation all the way to 0. And if I preview this right now, you will see, by the way, I'm using Ctrl Shift and click to preview the nodes, and that's the Node Wrangler add-on. If you go to Edit Preferences and Add-ons, just search for Node Wrangler and activate it, and that Ctrl Shift click will work for you as well. So now you can see the white is here and the black part will be with the 0 roughness, which is exactly what I want now. If I look at this, you can see this is nicely mirroring the scene. So we can select this, create a new material and reduce the roughness. So we have a nice glossy, coffee cup, but I don't like the light here. So let's select it, press X, delete, and let's press Shift A and let's add an area light. Press G then Z, move it up here and switch to disk, and let's increase the power to something like this. And let's make it a little bit larger so we have these nice soft shadows, and press G then Shift Z to move it on X and Y axis a little bit towards the back, so we have a nice backlight here like this. Maybe this is now too bright for the smoke, so let's just reduce the brightness here. Okay, and now if we select this geometry, we can add a subdivision surface modifier with 2 levels of subdivision. If you disable optimal display and use wireframe overlay, you will see how dense this is, and this should be enough for what I'm going to do here. So let's do another modifier here and let's do the form and displace, and now we can choose the Z-axis and create a new texture there and set up the texture as a clouds texture, for example. And now we can increase the size here to something large. Now you will see this is shaded flat, so right click and shade smooth. And back in the modifier, we can reduce the strength to something really subtle, something like 0.1 or something like this. Now, if you want to animate this a little bit, you can press Shift A, add an empty, and basically just animate this on axis. So let's expand the window here and let's switch this to timeline. Go to frame 1, and in the item menu, let's right click and insert single keyframe for the x-axis. And now on our frame 200, we can just press G then X and move it somewhere here, for example, and right click and insert single keyframe. So now we have this animation, and let's make sure it's linear. So press A in the timeline and T and choose linear interpolation. So now when you play it back, it will just go with a constant speed. And now we can use this to map our texture. So let's select our surface again, and here instead of local coordinates, we can use object and select our empty. So now the movement of the empty will work with the displacement of our coffee, and you will see it will kind of wobble, and it creates, really nice effect. And of course, you can make this a little bit softer by either reducing this to something like 0.08, or you can change the mapping. And since the mapping is now tied to this empty here, let me collapse this. If you press S, you will see how you can remap the texture. If I go small, you can see this will get, really wobbly. Let's go to the solid view so you can better see what's happening there. So as I go small, it's really turbulent there. As you go larger, it will create larger and larger waves. So I think something larger might work fine. So it's really subtle wobble effect on the coffee here. And I think the dissolve can be set lower here. So let's free the cache and do something like 7 and bake it all again. And now if you want to make this scene better, you can also, you know, add some texture to the background and some HDRI. I'm using the Polyhaven add-on, so I have all of their assets here in my asset browser, so I can just easily go and use HDRIs. I'm in no way affiliated, I just use this tool, and I think it's a great deal to get the add-on for like 10 bucks or something like that, and have all of these assets here in your asset browser shelf. So let's choose something with natural light indoors, and maybe something like this corridor here. So now we'll have the HDRI, but I want to match the light angle with our area light. So here's our area light. So let's just switch this to shader editor again. In the world menu, I will just rotate our HDRI so we match the light angle here, just like that. And I can see this looks a little bit softer, much better. And now I can use the same asset browser and same asset pack to, you know, search for some wooden texture. For example, like this rough wood here, and just apply it here. And probably I will need to work with the scale a little bit, so I can just tab into the edit mode and remap this to something like this. Of course, there's a lot more you can do, but that's out of the scope of this tutorial. Basically now you can just go to the output settings and choose video with the MP4 encoding, choose your folder and just go render animation, wait out your frames, and your coffee will be ready. So that's it for today's tutorial, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. And again, if you did, please leave that like, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day.